Our chief guest, His Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua, His Excellency, the Governor of Nyeri County, Mwalimu Mutahi Kahiga, Charge d'Affaires of the United States Embassy here in Kenya, Mark Dillard, the Cabinet Secretaries, honored guests, the PSs, of course, our STL family, Dedan Kimathi students, the educators, my family, good afternoon. Today we are very honored to have His Excellency here with us. In so many parts because he has taken the time to make our young engineers feel important. And so I would like to say, Your Excellency, with honor, that they are also our chief guests. A little bit about STL. STL was built on a dream. When I left Kenya, well, maybe I should go back and say after I finished high school at the Alliance High School and went to the United States for further education, as I grew my career, it was very urgent for me to keep a connection with this country and with my homeland of Nyeri. I'm from Kingongo. Every time I flew over to the Far East to establish semiconductor manufacturing, it always bothered me a great deal that I would fly over our continent and feel like I was not able to make an impact. So in 2016, when we conceived the idea, it was through a study group in Singapore where we were studying the structural strains of the semiconductor market, largely because the United States is very dependent on manufacturing of semiconductors in Southeast Asia and the Far East. When the COVID pandemic happened, it laid bare the strains and the structural weaknesses of the supply chain, which happens to be $530 billion a year. And so with that, and because of the COVID-19 pandemic, it was clear that there had to be a de-risking strategy for the semiconductor supply chain. The traditional semiconductor suppliers are in Southeast Asia, in Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, in the Far East, in China heavily, and Taiwan. Taiwan accounts for 34% of all semiconductors globally. Korea, Japan, Australia. Why not Kenya? A question that has been answered aptly today. If you were to go to a US company like IBM or Global Foundries of NXP Semiconductor, a few check boxes have to be made. For them to come and invest in Kenya, number one, there has to be human capital. I believe you saw the human capital. Number two, we have to have a government that is willing and able to support us, evident by His Excellency being here. We must have an academic system that churns out high-quality engineers. Thank you, Professor Keone. You must have a progressive development agenda around manufacturing and industrialization, the manifesto of the Kenya Kwanza. You must have able technical officers. The CS education is here, the PS is here. Our governor is here who has enabled a lot of the infrastructure that we enjoy here at STL. Lastly, you don't have to wait to be profitable to give. You must have a CSR strategy. And in the interest of time, I will ask Marlene to come in very briefly, sir, just to tell you two things about what we're doing in our CSR strategy before I close, in the interest of time, Your Excellency.
Thank you so much, our Managing Director. Thank you. His Excellency, our Chief Guest, the Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, Nyeri County Governor, His Excellency, Mwalimu Mutahi Kahiga, Charge d'Affaires, U.S. Embassy, His Excellency, Mark Dillard, the Vice Chancellor, DeKUT, Dedan Kimathi, Prof. Keone, CSICT, Honorable Eliud Owalo, the CS Education, Honorable Ezekiel Machogu, all Principal Secretaries present, Member of Parliament, Honorable Duncan Minor, our Managing Director, Tony Githinji, our partners, distinguished guests, friends of STL, and STL fraternity. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Marlene Wanjiro. I'm the manager, Executive Office, Semiconductor Technologies. Helena Wangoi and Imelda Tapologo Foundation, we make the vulnerable invulnerable through technology. One of our initiatives is women empowerment. As you have heard, 70% of the staff at Semiconductor Technologies are women. So we empower the girl child. The foundation is a foundation under Semiconductor Technologies. Helena and Imelda, respectively, were our Managing Director, Tony Githinji'S, and our First Lady, Madam Brownia's moms. They were big on rescuing young girls, and as TL, we saw the need to continue with their legacy. Our main focus is corporate social responsibility, where we partner with other institutions, like we partnered with the Rotary Club of Kenyatta, and we built a fully equipped computer lab at Kamuraini Primary School, located in Kenya constituency. This enables the children to experience technology at an early age. We foster education. We sponsor young girls to undertake STEM programs, and later they come to work at STL. Recently, we've partnered with other stakeholders, and we will be sponsoring any student from Kamuraini Primary School after they are done with the KCPE. While this costs 380 marks, we're going to take them through high school. After that, we will take them through university, where they will undertake STEM programs. We also donated 120 modern desks at Kamuraini Primary School. This continues. We look to partner with other stakeholders and continue donating modern desks that will encourage the young children to go to school and further their education. We also support the communities, whereby we feed the community. We are currently having a clothes drive where we will donate clothes. We also have mentorship sessions where we had the Kamuraini Class 8 students, just before they start for their KCPE, they came to the facility and we had a whole day of showing them what afterlife looks like. This gives them the opportunity and the desire to become engineers in future. We urge you all to join us in our foundation. Thank you.
In closing, Your Excellency, where do we go from here? Number one, we solidify our partners, the United States government, Kenya government, county government. The CS is all technical, hands on deck. We solidify those partnerships because you cannot do this by yourself. Secondly, we scale. We have seen the seeds of high technology built right in front of our eyes. Now it's time for those seeds to germinate. It's time for us to cross-pollinate and create institutions just like the one you saw in all the technical universities in Kenya. This scalability will allow for us to move R&D into fabrication, into manufacturing, and address large vertical industries including agriculture, microelectronics, sensors, IoT, all these devices that run our daily lives. In closing, Your Excellency, our request, our Marshall Plan, just like Europe was rebuilt after the war, we want to take advantage of what Kenya has to offer in your administration. We would like to ask for your support, not necessarily monetarily, but by way of infrastructure, by way of policy, by way of supporting small and medium-sized enterprises, as is in your manifesto. We look forward to partnering with you at every level, governor at every level, all technical people, hands on deck. That is the Semiconductor Technologies Marshall Plan. We expect this to be the Silicon Abadeas. Thank you.